Dime, right? TNT
It's a
Dime.
dime actually.
Okay. I thought you used to say Kazuya Dime. Okay, guys. Sorry for the delay, but the teams have assembled finally, and we'll be starting the match very soon at Kingsmen versus Ryzen, the last match of the evening.
And it is indeed going to be a very interesting matchup because Ryzen is one of the top global players of 2 to 3 seasons,
Oh crap!
right?
I think.
Have
Hold on. I think someone was asking for a restart, but the game had started anyway. So let's look at what happens.
so, Sinner, what happens after this? If they went for restart and if they don't ban any heroes, will there be
I
a
don't
restart
think so.
for?
They were told that it'll start in 10 seconds, and they sent the message after I hit the start button. So
Okay,
I
okay,
doubt it's not going to make any difference.
okay. So I think which team is this? The team blue,
It's Kingsman.
Kingsmen.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kingsmen. So Kingsmen, I think one of them really went for restarting because they are banning. They are like taking their time in banning.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so
And
probably they went
I
for restart and.
we can't see MK today. Oh, so some
Mm-hmm.
substitute is playing. I think it's Heaven Stud perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first ban Valir from Kingsman, and Ryzen counters it with Kimi.
Kimmy.
I think, yeah, last time they played, they always went with the Kimi and they were very confident, very comfortable with the Kimi. So I guess that's a good ban. Ryzen has done their homework.
Yeah, so they have banned Diggy. Are they gonna give Atlas or are they gonna pick Atlas? We'll have to wait and watch.
I think they
They
might go for
might
the
take.
Atlas or perhaps a carry or something, maybe ADC. An ADC perhaps. What do you think, Kazuya?
I don't know if I was in their team, I would definitely want to go for Atlas, but no, they
Ooh.
want to go for Selena. Yes, Selena is of course a good
Yeah.
pick as there's no more Diggy.
And
But
Kidnoob,
will
he
there be
plays
a
very good Selena also. So I guess that would be a
hmm?
really good game to see.
So the versatile tank from Ryzen, Grok.
Yeah. And I think this is the
Grok.
first time Illusion is playing. I never saw him
Hmm.
play. I think El Mashiro, okay. Uh, they have substituted someone for Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So as usual, Xborg has become a very prioritized pick in every game.
Yeah, I can see that actually. And I would love to see some more Hellcat action from Miraka.
Nobody can trust Miraka in the dark whenever he's playing
Yeah, nobody
Hellcat.
can trust Miraka in the dark.
Man, the way he was one-shotting people. Okay, we see a change there. They are going for the Carmela. I think Ryzen are still going for the hyper carry comp.
Yeah, yeah, that seems like it because their picks they already have a tank and they have a support, so they might go for hyper carry, but we might be seeing some tankless mid game.
Yeah. I think we might see a Farsa ban here, perhaps, because El
Mm-hmm.
Mashiro is global Farsa, and also he has always picked and dominated with Farsa. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone
Mm-hmm.
fears his Farsa.
Mm-hmm.
He always zones out the enemy, or else his attacks are on point. The
Mm-hmm.
bombarding.
Or we might even see a Hellcat ban. See, that's what I'm talking about. Hellcat ban,
Yeah,
because you don't want to give Hellcat to Miraka.
Kingsman did their homework as well, I guess.
Yeah, in the hands of Miraka, Hellcat is a god.
Yeah, yeah. I guess they realized that. And I
Yeah.
think,
So they're gonna go for Lunox. Yes, of course, Miraka plays very good Lunox as
but
well.
I think they will give the Lunox to El Mashiro, and Miraka might
Mm-hmm.
play the Bruno there, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Let's see. Okay. On the other hand,
There's a Roger pick
no, they
or
are
a
just
Granger
taunting
pick
it.
or a carry pick.
I think,
Oh, and the lovely skin from Chow, the Dragon Boy.
and they are going to go with the Granger.
Probably going to go for the Granger.
Okay, we are.
So seems like Team Kingsman is going to prioritize in the early game.
Yeah,
So
and
is Miraka's team are they gonna is Ryzen gonna reply with a early game combo as well, or are they gonna pick a
I
late
think they'll
game
go for a
to
Bruno.
secure?
I
Yeah,
feel
they
that
might.
they might,
Yeah,
yeah.
they might go for a Brunei. Yeah,
Oh yes. And I think Miraka and El Mashiro might exchange. But it's a really good comp from Kingsman here because
yeah, it's a
they
very
have
good
all
combo.
the heroes that deal a very early damage. So all they have to do is keep the aggression up and finish the game as early as possible.
And if you did notice something on Team Kingsman side, there's a lot of CCs. There's CCs upon CCs.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Diggy has been banned. And there's no Lolita from Team Ryzen. So will Team Ryzen be able to come will they be able to face that CC?
Let's see. Let's see. They
That's
got
a very big
Lunox,
question for
Carmilla
us.
as well. I mean,
Mhm.
they have got tankiness on Team
Mhm.
Ryzen side, but Kingsman here are with a very perfect, uh, the CC to HP ratio, you can say.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if there was any Carmilla played in the tournament, but whenever I see, recently I have been spamming chess.
Okay.
So whenever I see this Carmilla, it reminds me of the chess mode, because in chess mode right now, Carmilla is a very often used hero.
Yeah, she must be OP there
So
also with the ult, right?
yeah, yeah. So Carmilla is a very OP hero in chess mode. So the fight begins between Team Ryzen and Team Kingsman, with Team Ryzen probably gonna go for the 2-2-1, whereas Team Kingsman, not sure about their combos, but Selena is going to
Invade
secure the
probably
buff.
and
Yeah, secure
invade.
the blue buff and then gonna invade. Yeah.
I think
So
whoever has picked Carmilla this in this tournament has always. Oh, there goes Illusion. Oh, he's
yes,
with
Grok,
referee.
he successfully steals.
he, I didn't notice it, man. I was busy setting up the stream, so I
Selena
took
with
the.
a beautiful arrow on Carmilla, but that is not gonna do anything.
I actually failed to notice the
Hmm.
retribution on Grok there, but that was a nice switch there.
Oh, just look at the arrows. The arrows are just connecting upon
Yeah.
Carmilla upon Carmilla.
And Kidnoob, he
So,
plays really good Selena, so we can't really doubt his abyssal arrows. And are we look?
so there might be a gank in the bot lane right now. Hylos is already going in with the second skill. Xborg has jumped in. Kaja has gone in. Selena's arrow is connected on Lunox, but Grog is dead. Lunox also die. Lunox looks like she dies and she is dead, but Kacha survives. Kacha almost dead. Kacha survives, and that will be it for the gank, with Team Ryzen taking all the casualties right now.
Well, really good punishment from Team Kingsman there.
Yeah,
Well, you steal our buff, we are going to kill two
yeah, it's
people.
like yeah, it's like they want to say, you take our buff, we take your kills.
Exactly, exactly. And as well, okay, we see a rotation from Cho there. Perhaps he's not level 4 yet, so there won't be any much engage coming up. Ryzen moving bot. They have left Miraka completely alone to farm, but looks like
Yeah.
Miraka has smelt the danger and is falling back.
So the Miraka is fully surrounded. Will Chow take the risks? Jumps in, uses the
Oh
ulti, but
no.
no, now Miraka doesn't have Purify, so Hylos can just jump in and kill Miraka. But no, Miraka survives. No, Miraka is gonna die obviously, because he is very much outnumbered by Team Kingsmen 4-1, and
Team
that brings the
Kingsman is
score.
playing exceptionally well, man. I mean,
Hmm. Yeah, just like we've discussed, Team Kingsmen is one team we should not underestimate.
exactly. They are like the underdogs. And I mean,
Hmm.
they are proving their point
Hmm.
that they deserve to be in this tournament, obviously, like any other big team or small team or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
They're proving their point, man.
So there's gonna be an exchange of turrets between Team Ryzen and Team Kingsman. Both the teams.
Okay,
There's a
so
post request from Team Kingsman and no, I mean Team
Ryzen.
Ryzen. Yeah.
So just looking at the picks and the pace going on right now, what do you think, Kazuya? Uh, who will take away the victory here? I mean, what's the
I
probability?
mean, there's no big the goal difference, the net worth difference between both the teams is quite same, and the turret exchange is also the same. And if we look into the farm, they have. I mean, even though Bruno has died once, Bruno has some like quite some good farm. So never know what the match might go, in whose favor the match might go. But right now we can see that Team Kingsman is dominating in the kills. In the
Exactly.
gank part, Team Kingsman is dominating, like we've said, like we've seen, like I've said in the beginning. There's a lot of CC from Team Kingsman, so Team Ryzen is facing some difficulty in coping up with the CC from Team Kingsman. So is
And the
that gonna
early
be a
game damage,
problem?
not to forget
Yeah,
the early game damage.
yeah. The early game damage coming in from Kacha, coming in from Selena, from their tank Hylos, and the early damage from Granger as well. The early crits from Granger.
Yeah.
So the question now is, will Team Ryzen have problem with their CC till the end game, or will they be able to find some good baits, like Grok and Xborg can be a good bait for their CC, you know,
Yeah.
with Grok's first skill, and Xborg's ulti can totally negate their CC. So
Yeah, that could be
we have to
possible.
we'll have to
Exactly,
see.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
But
only way
this
they
is
can counter their
for
CC.
me. This is the first time I have seen. I mean, in this tournament, first time I have seen Ryzen playing with this kind of strategy where they keep the
Mm-hmm.
marksman completely away from the rest of the team, and the rest of the team ganks while the marksman farms. Usually, Miraka is the
Yeah.
one whenever he takes Bruno there or whatever, any kind of ADC carry, he's always
Yeah,
rotating with
always
the
the one.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
taking the kills and stuff. All right, the pause is done with, and we are back into the game. Okay, there are complaints of lag there.
There's also a pause request on Team Kingsman,
So we
as
are going to take
if
another pause here. Yeah,
if
so
I'm not mistaken, both the teams will get only one
one
pauses
pause
each, right?
each of two
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they have to do, restart their network, restart the game, they have to complete it in 2 minutes itself.
So guys, just stay tuned. The pause is gonna be only for 2 minutes, so hold your horses and just stay still. Stay tuned, because it's gonna be an action-packed game. That I assure you. That
Exactly.
we assure you.
And I can see Kingsman maintaining their discipline quite well in
Mm-hmm.
every engage. They haven't lost a
Yeah,
single
yeah.
soul till now, but obviously they are doing their jobs perfectly, whatever was assigned to them by their leader,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And
You see, that shows how good of a team they are, because when a
exactly,
good team engages, like when an average team engages, average teams, they are better than the majority of the players, but they know how to gank. But when average teams they engage, they do the mistake of overcommitting into the gank.
exactly.
So when they overcommit, they do have some casualties, and that uh, you know when they have casualties, there's no point in winning the gank, because even if you have won the gank, if you don't have your tank, how are you gonna supposedly go in? Go
Exactly.
in the next like the next objective you're doing, or without the mage, or without the ADC. So you cannot do anything. So that's one area where we can say Kingsman is not an average team, but they are above the average team. They are, like what you have said, they are the underdogs.
Yeah, exactly. And if they continue
So
to hold up their discipline that they are maintaining
yeah.
right
Mm-hmm.
now, they can definitely
Yeah.
go for the victory here. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. They have a very good chance at victory this match.
yeah. So that's it for a 2 minute pause for both the teams. No more pauses, and the game will resume.
There will be no more interruptions.
Exactly.
So there is a possibility of a gank here right now, as the turtle is up, and both the teams will want to take the turtle. Bruno is safely taking the so-called Pokemon right now of the top Pokemon, and now he's gonna rotate to the crab. Where meanwhile there is a gathering of both the teams in the midland, but it has dispersed now. They are gonna go for the turtle, but Ryzen knows these. Ryzen knows that they are going for the turtle, but they don't want to contest because they are at a disadvantage right
Exactly,
now
exactly. They don't have
in
the
the
early
gold lead.
damage and the sustain as
Mm-hmm.
well for the burst damage coming
In,
from the Kingsmen. So I guess
yeah,
yeah, they took the tower.
instead they are gonna go for the top turret,
Yeah, that
which
gives
in their
that
case.
gives gold as well to the team. So that
Mm-hmm.
is kind of good. And they have still maintained the farm with the two
Mm-hmm.
towers they took top.
And
Ryzen.
just look at that. With the second turret that they have taken, they have managed to bring the gold level at par.
Exactly, exactly. That's what. See, you have to think like this sometimes. Okay, we are seeing a gang coming up. Kidnap is in problem. Mihir gets him. He's trying his best to get away. Kingsman in
Hylos
trouble.
might die, but no, Grog. Instead, Grog is about to die. Hylos is finding difficulty in escaping right now. Hylos is dead with all thanks to Lunox.
I mean,
All
that
thanks
was
to
a
Lunox,
perfect ult
Hylos
for
is dead.
Carmilla, man. I
Yeah,
must say.
that was a very good ult from Carmela.
And I think Carmilla's ult was the reason that sent them running away from each other. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, without that, they just had to break the bond Carmilla had so
Mm-hmm.
deeply set up. So that was a really good engage there from Ryzen. I mean, they're
You know,
choosing their battles quite well,
you
I
know,
must say.
if we look at the current situation, Carmela is like the coronavirus. You don't want
Yeah,
the team to be
exactly. You need
together.
social distancing, bro.
Yeah, social distancing.
You need the social
So,
distancing from Carmilla. Okay.
Carmela the coronavirus, and there's a beautiful ulti from Kachap and a beautiful knockback from Selena's flame shot, and with that,
Even in the stun, the Carmilla
he's
managed
dead.
to use a perfect ult. I mean, he did
Mm-hmm.
not miss it though.
But Bruno is still undisturbed in farm, and Bruno still has a lot of farm. Look at that. Bruno has the highest farm right now.
Yeah.
Will they continue to do the same mistake of giving
See,
Bruno enough farm?
before you were saying na, that a
Mm-hmm.
marksman you always has to pay attention to keeping them farmed equal to opponent. Okay, we are seeing an engage here for the turtle. Grok is going to go down.
Grog is dead. Grog is dead. Xborg is also low. Hylos. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Hylos is also down. Hylos is dead now. Hylos is dead. Kacha is dead. Granger is dead. And that leaves us with Chow. That leaves us with only Selena. But look at Chow on the bottom lane.
Yeah,
Chow is
he's
already gonna take down the inhibitor turrets, but he will not be able to take down the inhibitor turrets because Xborg is back to defend the inhibitor turret. But
really,
Ryzen, in
really good,
meanwhile,
really good gameplay from the Xborg there. I did not
yeah,
expect him to like he targeted the backline immediately, and there was no one left. I mean,
it's so difficult to it's so difficult when good players are playing. It's so difficult to even catch your breath because there's just action upon action going in.
exactly.
There's exchange upon exchange. They're exchanging. They're just doing the trades. Even if they lose the gang, they are taking the objectives, and that's what matters in the end.
Exactly. And
So if you can see, Kingsman had dominated the gangs, but they are trailing in the objectives. And now Hylos is been
oh my
blocked. Look at Hylos. Hylos is dead for sure. Will there be any follow up in the gang? Kacha tries to ult one. Carmilla is dead. Bruno is already farm so fat. Bruno is gonna kill, but
but
Bruno is
at what
also gonna die
expense?
there.
I mean, he went in for a kill and gave his life away
Hmm.
instead.
But I think that's not too much of a big deal because there's no turtle right now. There's no minions coming in to take their turrets down. So the sacrifice from Bruno trying to get a kill because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he has the bounty hunter's talent. So that is
Yeah.
gonna be a big advantage for him. Even if he dies, if he gets that one kill.
I feel
So
with this kind of comp, they need to Kingsman needs to constantly keep the aggression up because
yeah,
they
yeah,
need to take more team fights. I must say
yeah,
because
they need to.
the clock is running out, and if at one point they'll be so tanky that their early game to mid game damage heroes won't make a difference there.
So the turtle has been taken by Team Kingsmen again, and look at this now. Chow decides to go in, but that was a mistake, and Chow is gonna be punished for that by Lunox. Lunox is now going crazy right now. Lunox is stunned by Selena's arrow, and Kacha catches off Lunox. Lunox is
Oh,
dead. Kacha is also gonna die there. Kacha almost survives, but no. Xbox is gonna follow up with his flicker and kills
and if
Kacha.
Xbox couldn't get the job done, the Bruno was
Bruno was also coming in, yeah.
he was waiting.
Yeah, so in any way, Kacha was gonna die.
Okay, so we got two sacrifices on each side, right? I think this
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
trade-off. Really good one.
Well, it was a 1-2 trade, so Ryzen is on the upper hand right now. So Ryzen has already come back into the game with a the gold composition of the
Yeah.
teamwork.
So the thing I was
So
talking about
Hylos,
that you
yeah.
said now that as a marksman you need to always
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're ahead in farm or at least equal up with the
Yeah,
opponent.
yeah, exactly.
So that
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of Miraka's gameplay style because whenever
Yeah.
he plays an ADC, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even though their team is losing or feeding or whatever is going on, he always plays on the safer side and always tries to keep up the farm, and that's how they come back most of the times.
Mm-hmm. And if you notice one thing, like I've said earlier, I mentioned earlier that a good ADC always has a good connection with his babysitter. And if you can see Illusion, right now, whenever Bruno is using his first skill and he misses his balls, even
Yeah.
like Grok is passing back the ball to Bruno.
Yeah.
So that's the understanding that a marksman and a babysitter need to have, right? To win the game.
Yeah. The
And
mother
that's exactly
the
how,
mother son
yeah,
synergy.
yeah, the
The
the mother
parent
son synergy.
parent child synergy you can say.
Hmm.
Well,
But I'm actually amazed. We are not seeing that. We're not seeing the Hijra into play right now.
yeah.
He is so buffed, but he's not being played
I don't
by
know.
any of the team.
In this tournament, we haven't seen Lance picked much. I guess maybe one or two
Yeah,
games. But Ryzen is going to go for the Lord. No time being wasted
knowing
here.
knowing that they have the goal advantage, Ryzen is gonna go for the Lord. But in order for them to securely get the Lord, Carmilla decides to do the sacrifice. But no, Ryzen decides that Carmilla need not do any unnecessary
Ooh,
sacrifice. But still, Carmilla is gonna die. Carmilla, I think Carmilla was recalling there.
damn.
But a beautiful map awareness from Selena there and kills Carmilla. And with that, they might want to go for the Lord right now as soon as Granger takes down the red buff.
Yeah, but that's
And
going to take
gonna,
some time.
yeah, that's gonna take some time. And already Hylos is low on HP, so they will not go for any Lord. And now Lord has been enhanced. Now whoever takes the Lord is gonna be deadly.
Yeah, it will be very difficult to kill, and he'll deal more damage to the towers as well.
Hmm. Just look at the constant placement of traps by Selena, giving vision to their team.
I can't,
So
I can't
that
really
shows
see it.
how.
Yeah,
Hmm.
in the
Yeah, that
robot.
shows how good of a Selena he is.
Yeah,
Selena
Kidnov
is
is a
always
very good
placing.
Selena though. I agree. Because I've
Mm.
seen him play in this tournament itself and many people have told me as well. So
So now
we
Hylos is getting caught off guard. Hylos is probably gonna die even with his ulti. Hylos is gonna survive. No, Hylos is gonna die, of course. Xbox comes in from the other side and kills Hylos.
yeah, now they are going to go for the Lord now. I think
Yeah,
that's
they're
what they were
definitely
waiting
gonna go
for.
for the Lord.
One
And
kill on the ADC or any member from Kingsman and they have a clear
yeah, and
advantage. Oh my god, look at the damage dealt on Mihir there.
without without the tank, will they be able to steal the Lord? They have the flame shot, and
Oh,
no,
yeah, Lunox has it.
no, the Lord isn't stolen.
I think that was the retribution.
So Xbox still, and look at the damage from Bruno coming in right now. Bruno is so fed right now.
Exactly.
Will it be a triple kill? Yes, it is definitely gonna be a
Yeah,
triple
and I
kill for
think
Bruno.
with the
And with that,
Lord
I
coming
think
up,
the game
yeah,
is gonna be over.
it's GG for Ryzen here. My. Really good attempt from Kingsman though. I mean, they were playing good.
Yeah, that was a very
Like I
good attempt.
said before, if they keep up with the discipline they were maintaining early
Mm-hmm.
game, they would have a victory there. But unfortunately, they couldn't keep up. But it's not over yet.
Hylos
Maybe
tried to
yes.
defend the turret, but the Nexus, but no. So that is gonna be it. Team Ryzen winning the coming back into the game, though they had a little bit of trouble in the early game. They came back into the game, and with Bruno getting on the farm, Bruno getting the game got into the hands of Ryzen, and Ryzen has successfully won the game against Team Kingsman with a scoreline of 14-11.
Yeah, I think they had
And
to maintain the aggression early game. They kind of lost the
yeah,
momentum, and maybe perhaps
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why they lost.